YouTube, how we doing? Pass the prop back here again. We are rolling for this Friday slate. Obviously a little bit earlier than usual, but we do have MLB starting at noon today again. So I know neither of us have bets in that game, but we got to make sure we get it out for you guys because I think every team's in action. We got games all the way through 8 p.m. tonight, so it should be exciting. Joined as always by my guy Stu. How you doing, man?
Doing good. Been a great betting week for me, so really no complaints. I mean, we got a lot of stuff going on. I was just telling you, I can't believe it's Friday. It doesn't even feel like it to me. It's been a busy week. Yesterday, we did get a little bit of a more chill slate in both sports. NBA and MLB were pretty. I don't want to say boring last night, but there wasn't a ton going on. So had a nice 1-0 night thanks to my guy Delano. He cashed a ticket for me yesterday. I love that guy. He started 0 for 7 from the field. Didn't make like a single bucket through the first 12 minutes of the game and still ended up with 23 points in that one. So gotta love a little NBA garbage time. And yeah, we got a great MLB slate today. So excited to talk about it.
Yeah, dude, it's funny because I guess if you're in the weeds like we are, when I say I unfollowed Underdog NBA, that's how you know I'm out of it for the year.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm completely out. Yeah. I'm not even thinking about NBA. So I didn't even know who was in or out. But, yeah, they got the unfollow. Not even the unfollow. I just shut off notifications.
Yep.
Year. Yeah, completely out. And I couldn't even tell you what happened last night outside of me betting I think just hit the Bucks first half over almost every time on repeat. And it's been good to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously you got your little angles. I know that have been cashing for you all year long right there. And yeah, I mean, for me, I know we always start the show with break down the slate, talk about your favorite games. Even I'm kind of done with that bullshit. I'm picking the ugliest game on the slate. If you watch the show, you already know I want the game with the most players out. And for me, this is that time of year, So I know a lot of people do absolutely despise it, and I don't blame anyone for that whatsoever. It's definitely a time commitment. You have to be really prepared to kind of be by your phone from essentially 5 p.m. until when the games start, but I do think it's kind of one of the better opportunities in any sport that I've noticed where if you know how to price Maxwell Lewis out of Pepperdine, then you would have won money yesterday. It's one of those things where it rewards niche knowledge. You know what I mean? So that's why I love it. But I don't blame a single person. And I think you nailed it. That's how you really know you're out of a sport is the underdog notifications, man. They rule everything right now. And those guys do the Lord's work. So shout out to them.
Yeah. No. So yeah, I'm completely out. NBA. I know you had a bet in the last round. I have no idea if it hit or not. I wasn't.
Easily. Yep. Isaiah Collier, not first half. Third quarter cash in this one got the job done. The number is even getting bet down a little bit during that game, which was kind of crazy. But yeah, got the job done nice and easy right there, keeping that NBA record going upwards. I believe it's only, 3 straight. I haven't looked that far back, but I know at least 3 straight on the show. We've been just going one at a time, and it's been going well. So look forward to keep that going today.
Yeah, and I believe it's 5 or 6 if you count the college basketball. Obviously, that was in there too. We just have it as basketball. I have no idea for the NBA ones. I just threw them all together because that would be just an absolute bitch and a half to try to keep up with those separately. But I guess we can kind of talk about mine then quick before we go to NBA. Took the first L of the season, guys, and it was very weird. Schoolball hasn't had 2 walks in a game, I think, in his last 7 or 8 starts, and it was all in one inning. He just got he had one of those, blow-up innings. Walked, I believe, 2 dudes in the same inning. Reagan's ended up with 10 strikeouts. I had Reagan's at straight bets all the way up the board. So, obviously, he just mowed down the Brewers. What I will say, though, is Brewers are obviously looking a lot better when you're not facing the Yankees in Yankee Stadium with 30-mile-an-hour winds blowing out. Right, so that's the thing. I think Nestor just shoved on him last night. You look at Freddie Peralta goes 8 innings, 2 hits. I'm obviously living in the area. You hear all the stuff these guys suck and they're going to be terrible this year. I'm like, dude, you play the Yankees in Yankee Stadium with 40-mile-an-hour winds. No fucking shit. you're playing in a little league field, bro. Like, they're gonna hit bombs, and it's gonna continue to happen until they start figuring out differences for like size of the proportions of these fields, because it is a very, very short porch.
100%. But hey, that's the beautiful part about this show and betting in general is like buy low, sell high, right? And after a guy kind of or a team specifically maybe looks super bad in one specific series, it's kind of the perfect opportunity to buy on those guys. So, the logic was good here, obviously. But yeah, Scooball did have the little bit of a mini blow up inning for his standards, at least.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody gets on base, it's a fucking blow up inning at this point. That dude is so good. Shout out to him for fucking sucking the first 2 innings and then still hitting his K prop. Like, what a fucking dog, dude. He had like 50 pitches through 2 innings, 48, something like that. 8 Ks, don't matter. Dude got 8 Ks. The dude's a monster. Shout out to Eric Scooball. Keep doing your thing, man. We'd love to watch you. Just such an entertaining guy to watch on those games. So, showed the NBA or college and NBA, and then MLB 5-1, 5.52. Heading into today. Let's start talking the same. I'll just let you say whatever you want to say on NBA, or if you even want to talk NBA. I will absolutely have zero here.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of got it out the way earlier, but like I'm just gonna be gravitating towards the ugliest games possible here. So I don't care about any of these games. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, there's nothing that catches my eye. Thunder Rockets is always fun, but we've seen it like 8 times already this year. Like, Nuggets Warriors on a back-to-back. Okay, I guess. I don't know. It's just like an average slate. I really think I'll be mostly watching baseball tonight. But I'll be betting a little bit of NBA, and I'll props out on Twitter a little bit closer to game time, but I do have one to talk about today. So I think we can just get right into it.
All right, let's do it.
Sounds good. We got Isaiah Collier over 18.5 points and assist, minus 120 over on DraftKings, and then it's minus 130 on FanDuel, and then 19.5 on the rest of the market. So the 2 biggest books do have the 18.5. I would play 19.5 as well. If you'll notice, this was 16.5 when we played it last game. In my opinion, an outrageously low number for a guy that puts up the same 12-7 every single game, no matter what. Like, they gave him such a disrespectful number, and I touched on it briefly. I think it's probably the same thing of the books and me are equally as scared of Houston. But the problem with that number, it wasn't a play on the matchup. It was a play on the season is over for these guys. They don't care, and he's going to play 32 minutes. So even if the starters are awesome on Houston, you're probably playing the last 15 minutes against backups anyway. There's just so many reasons to like it, even despite the bad matchup. And now we get a great matchup, right? We have Jazz Pacers. You really can't ask for anything better than the Pacers for a game like this. And I don't think they've adjusted the points nearly enough, because if you've listened to any of my shows, I've talked about the same thing. The big difference the reason I'm taking this is because he's shooting more. And the reason he's shooting more, it doesn't take a fucking genius to figure out that the season is over. He is their young rookie, one of many on this team. And they're going out there saying, look, you passed John Stockton's record. You just beat John Morant for rookie assist. Congrats. You're diamond like crazy. Shoot the ball. This is your opportunity. No Laurie. None of the starters are here. Clarkson's out for the year. Sexton's only going to be playing 23, 24 minutes a game. This is your chance to develop in real NBA minutes against real NBA teams and shoot as much as you want. This is common sense. Obviously, you can read the coach speak. You can see that there's hints to this, but it's not hard to get to this logic. And it's been shown in his game logs. The only time he's missing his points are games where he's going 2 for 12 and he just can't get anything going. And that's what you'll take. You'll accept things like that when it's a number this low and it's a guy shooting 15 times a game. So for me, I've talked about it every single time. The guy has 5 assists in 39 to 44 games. That 5 assist benchmark is so easy for him to hit. The assists are so consistent that for me, I just think the 11.5 points line is the part that hasn't adjusted at all. It went from 10.5 to 11.5. I would have been at least at 13.5 for today's slate. So Sexton's playing way less minutes. He's still playing the blowout minutes. You get a fast-paced matchup against the Pacers right here, and you get the youngest guy on the team that they're trying to develop for future seasons. This is common sense. I don't know why they haven't adjusted long enough. I just think it's because we have a whole season sample of him going 11-7 every single game. You know, he's so consistent at those numbers that I think it takes the sports books a while to kind of shift their data when we see changes later in the year. And I think we're seeing those changes. I think we're going to keep taking advantage. So I like to mix it up. I like to give different props and stuff, but I just couldn't resist going back to the well with this one because he's definitely my favorite spot on the slate today.
Yeah, I mean, he's good. He's been good to the show. So obviously got no issues seeing him pop up yet again here in this slate. So yeah, blowout minutes. If you know you're going to get them, they're valuable. They count the same as the first half. So it's the same thing you talk about with garbage yards in football. They still count, right? They're still there for you to make money on. So obviously, always happy to see you getting those winners there with him. But yeah, I like I said, I'm just kind of completely checked on NBA. I have absolutely zero things to contribute to your breakdowns, unfortunately.
Hey, no, that's okay. That's the beautiful part about all this action. And once again, this is what you get on the show. We're not bullshitting you guys. I watch so many shows. You can tell these motherfuckers have no clue what they're talking about. They haven't seen the underdog in 2 weeks, and they're not letting you know. We have a lot of shit to talk about here. We're not going to bullshit you guys with fake waste of time, stuff we don't care about. So I figured I'd throw that in there real quick.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, yeah, college, a little bit more my speed, but I'm probably not even betting too much of that either because all these lines are really, really sharp. I will be betting Houston, obviously. I already told you that just because I kind of have to at this point.
Yeah, I will throw in before we move on. I took Duke versus the field at even money. So we'll see. I feel solid about that price tag right there. And I'm hoping Duke loses in either of these next two matchups. So I figured I'd throw that in there real quick.
Yeah, it's not bad. What book was that on?
It was one of the exchanges, one of the peer versus peer ones.
Ooh,
but the other books had like -110, so it was like close, you know what I mean? But I've been experimenting with the Novig, Profit X kind of new exchanges that are out now.
Interesting. I seen some things about that on Twitter, so it's interesting that you are able to, actually get something that you liked for a good price on that. So good luck. Awesome. Let's talk this NBA or MLB slate. I can actually say some things of value here now. Any games you want to talk about specifically, Stu, before we get into some props? Or obviously we got some studs on the bump. We got some crap. So kind of all over the board here. Obviously, some teams had off days yesterday. So it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't have anything super specific. I think Cubs Padres kind of caught my eye just when you see Padres get off to a 7-0 start and then they're plus 150 on the money line. That's always a little interesting. Obviously, going against Shota on the other side is a scary matchup, but I think that's it's a day game. I don't got shit going on at that time. So I'll probably be tuning into that one to check it out. And then a little bit I want to see if Walker Buehler still kind of sucks because that's going on right before in that Boston game against the Cardinals. And yeah, I have a little bit of Arenado, hits, runs, RBIs in that one. And Buehler has just been kind of a fade machine ever since that Tommy John. So definitely will be tuning into that one a little bit, but nothing too crazy for me.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Obviously, Phillies Dodgers, I feel like is the game I kind of have to look at there. Also, I'm kind of curious on are the Braves really that bad? Right? I mean, you get the Marlins spot. You just talked about the Padres, but talk about the last winless team being the Braves, a team that's usually a decent powerhouse here. So yeah, there's that one. Obviously, my Brewers are at home, so maybe I'll make it to a game this weekend. Not sure. But they get the Reds here. Always fun watching Ellie in person. That dude is just fucking huge. Another dude. Fucking Sal Perez. That dude is a fucking monster. That dude is so big, bro. Like, it was crazy to see him next to guys. And he just towers over these guys, dude. But, yeah. No, I saw that. They did lose. They did lose yesterday? Oh, that sucks. I think they're, 0-8 now? 0-7? I mean, they can't hit. Can't pitch. You know, you got your best guy on the bump today, in my opinion, now that Free's gone, with Schwellenbach. So interesting, dude. It's interesting. I'm curious to see if the Marlins get them, even though that team is just an absolute shit show.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Actually, that probably I will have to tune into that one because I want to see if the Braves are going to win or not. And I did see, like, I like Meyer. I bet on him a little bit in the past. Big young prospect kind of guy that's got a couple innings under his belt now. Like, I think that's a respectable matchup right there. The problem with Miami is then you just got to flip off whenever their offense comes on the screen. You got to hit that last button real quick because nobody wants to watch that.
Yeah, it's tough. That Schwellenbach almost feels like you kind of just have to plug your nose and just lock them into DFS lineups if you're going to play tonight, because it's on the night slate, the pitching is just not anywhere as close as the good ones in the top, like early day, right? Because I mean, you got Flaherty, who's obviously pretty good, Kevin Gausman, and then you just got the absolute. I can't play any more of these slates with shit teams in Colorado, bro. It's just I despise those slates. I'm not even going to play the morning because of how, like, just chalk Oakland now because you're playing the fucking Rockies and like, I can't get myself to do it, bro. It's tough, but because I do like these day slates, but I'm going to have to stick to the night ones because, my God, I do not need to watch any more chalk fucking garbage Rockies. Like, they had so many chances yesterday, couldn't fucking score at all. It's just that offense is so. Taijuan Walker diced you up, bro. When do you just fucking say I quit baseball? We suck. Like, it's so hard to watch.
They were so bad that Taijuan Walker was good, and it made his mom cry because he was good for the first time in like a year. I don't know if you saw that interview. So
I did not see that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just saw a quick clip where he was like, it brought his mom to tears because he bounced back.
Really?
And yeah. I don't know, yeah.
Really? Jeez.
I mean, I don't think it's not his fault his mom was crying.
No, it's not his fault, but it is his fault because he sucked forever. So it's kind of his fault.
Very fair.
Let's get to some picks. I'm kind of up in the air if I want to play two. I think I'm gonna probably just play one, but I have been kind of sticking with these plus money spots early in the season. And yeah, I will kick us off here. I'm going to actually be taking an under here. I'm going to be taking Jose Soriano under 4.5 strikeouts here in a matchup against the Guardians today. Obviously, if you want to just use the Guardians numbers over the last how many years, 2-3 years, these guys just don't strike out. I mean, so far this year, it's a little bit different against righties. They have a 25% K rate, but it's the same thing I'm going to use with if I do play my other play, just like data from this year. It doesn't really mean much to me, right? I'm not saying that it shouldn't. I'm just saying, like, if we go through who these guys have played, right, and you get to like look at who's starting in these games that these guys are striking out at a clip like this, right? I mean, their first ones, I believe they were facing Michael King, who looked like he could probably strike out every person in the world in that game. I don't know if you watched that, but his stuff was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Shout out Michael King. That was one of the best performances I've seen. I think he had 11 Ks. I'm pretty sure he had 11 Ks. I haven't seen 11 Ks against the Guardians in a very long time because they're obviously absolute studs. But then you go from them to have to face Cease, right? I mean, the top two right-handed guys in that rotation. So that's going to obviously boost up some of those numbers in terms of strikeout rates when you only have 90 at-bats against two high-quality strikeout guys. I like Jose Soriano. Don't get me wrong. I actually really like him. I thought last year he was a DFS darling. He was fantastic. But what I don't like to see is just this pitch sequencing and everything that he's trying to do. He is actually pitching to be a good pitcher, not to be a strikeout pitcher anymore, right? That's where I think if you, again, we talk about this all the time. What do the coaches want you to do? What are you out there to do? Jose Soriano last year was just a walk machine, right? I mean, 2 years, or I think maybe it was 2 years ago. I'm thinking of. He had like a 12% walk rate, 30% K rate. Last year, 21% and 9%, and now he's sitting around that 21 and 9% again. But he's actually been really good in terms of getting the ground balls now. He throws his sinker 60% of the time in that first matchup. Last year, he threw it at a little bit higher pace, like 46% through a full year, getting almost 50% on that. But 64% is Absurd. 47 sinkers, and he has a 5% whiff on that pitch. I think the biggest issue here is when you see Soriano and you remember Soriano, this dude, when he came into the league, was throwing 99, right? Last year, he was throwing 98, right? Early in the season, he's hitting 96, right? But it's just to get ground balls. It's not to miss bats. That's not what he's trying to do. His knuckle curve, obviously, is very, very good, but just, last game just didn't get the swings and misses. And his slider is good here. My issue is you have a lot of lefties in this lineup and a lot of good hitting lefties. And so it's pretty much, he only threw 32 pitches against lefties last game, and 75% of them were the sinker. If I don't have to worry about getting too many counts of the slider, and, I get to trust guys like Naylor, I get to trust guys like Jose Ramirez and Stephen Kwan to put the bat on the ball, I feel pretty damn good about it. So I think this number's at plus money is pretty ridiculous. I think it should definitely be like minus 125. I just don't know why I would want to bet juice on an over against a team like the Guardians, who, yes, if you look at their season-long data right now, it's like, 100 at-bats, but you faced no one in the league was hitting Michael King that night. Like, that was his two-seam run was absurd. It was front-dooring guys. It was some of those were like 20 inches of horizontal movement is absurd, dude. Like, you're not hitting that. So I think this is a great buy low almost on this Guardians team to do what they're always there to do. They do this every year. And I'm going to use the season-long data last year a little bit more than this year.
Yeah, no, I liked your analysis a lot for that one right there. Kind of felt exactly like what we were talking about on just kind of buy in on these different teams right now, and how that first game kind of adjusted these numbers. Because me, as someone that isn't really locked in on this team, doesn't really watch their games, like, I still think of Soriano as that same, flamethrower kind of guy. So it was interesting to hear you go through those stats, talk about the heavy sinker usage, trying to induce more soft contact. Like you said, it's making yourself less of a DFS pitcher and more of like a real life guy, which is obviously good to see there. And yeah, I like the analysis, and you don't really have to convince me against the Guardians. Like you said, those guys go out there, they make contacts, they get the barrel on the ball, and they take care of business. I had Hart, the guy from the K's, at 3.5, and oh my God, I got so lucky to win that bet, man. Earlier in the week, like, the Guardians, they punish you. They really do. They punish you a lot, and they don't swing at a lot of stupid shit. So definitely like this look right here. Going to be telling you plus money.
Beautiful. Yeah. Plus money just makes this so much better. I'll send it over to you with your first MLB bet of the season on the show.
I know. And what a surprise. We're fading the Nationals, baby. If you've been watching the show, you've seen it before, you'll probably see it again because, they're getting better. They're a young team, but they've been a very fadeable team over these last couple of years. And, man, Ketel Marte, I have to go back and look. Arguably my most profitable player last year, at least top 3. This is a guy, he started out, I was really only playing him against lefties. He was kind of breaking out in that manner. And then over the season, as it started going, he was just kind of hitting everybody. And he just got his big extension. He's off to a good start on the year. He has a hit in 6 of 7 games. He's over his hits, runs, RBIs number in his 4 of 6 starts to get going right here. And what I really like about this, there's a lot of fluff, whatever. I like Jake Irvin, actually. I think Jake Irvin is kind of a sneaky, like, solid pitcher. I don't think he's, like, fantastic or anything, but I think he's, like, a very, like, well-rounded, solid pitcher. But there are a couple things. One, he struggles with walks, and Marte has been walking like crazy to start the season. The guy is almost a walk in every single game so far this year, which on top of him already getting on base, like I was saying, hitting 6 of 7 games. Like, you love to get on base in general for the hits, runs, RBIs. It's not just a one-man bet. You're kind of betting on that little chunk of the lineup right there. So not only to have those run opportunities from the walks, but also – what I really looked at for Marte, there was something I found last year. You guys know if you're new, I guess you don't know. I love like the pitch split stuff with batter props. That's really what I dive into. I try to find pitchers that maybe overthrow certain pitches, they rely on certain pitches, and then what do the batters on the other team, which ones are best equipped to take advantage. And Marte, what I always found is a lot of good hitters are going to hit a 4-seam fastball well, that's not a shocker, but like Marte crushed the curveball last year. Like, he crushed the curveball. 364 average, 1,000 slugging over the course of a year. The guy hits the crap out of the curveball as well. 364 average against the four-seamer, and then a 600 slugging. And when you look at Jake Irvin throws the curveball at times more than the fastball to opposing left-handed hitters. He kind of struggles with lefties, 60 points higher slugging versus lefties than righties. He has a higher walk rate versus lefties than righties. Like, I think Irvin's like pretty good overall, but when you look at like a guy that's kind of built to punish the pitches he throws, which is the over-reliance on the curveball, which is pretty good, and then using his four-seamer a ton, which is kind of average, I think Marte is like the guy that's built on the other team to take advantage of that. Like, he hit the curveball better than arguably any other batter in the league last year based on these baseball savant stats. So if I'm gonna keep back in Marte, he's been extremely hot. To start the year, he's been one of my favorite guys to bet. I think he matches up really well with Irvin. I just think there's a lot of good circumstances to justify a bet. This is also in DC. Looking outside, about 70 degrees right now. Not super sunny yet, but the weather's good. It's kind of already like summertime over here right now. So not bad conditions as well for a nice hitting day. So give me Ketel Marte over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, minus 130.
Good looks, dude. I like it. Yeah, I like it. So, let's get into a quick recap here, guys, and then we'll take a look and see if we got some long shots for today.
Sounds good. Start out only NBA spot of the day. We got Isaiah Collier over 18.5 points plus assist, minus 120 over on DraftKings. I would play this to 19.5 as well.
Beautiful.
Oh, sorry. I'm so used to having one. I freaking zoned out right there. We're going over to the MLB. We got Ketel Marte over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, minus 130. First baseball play of the year, fading my Washington Nationals.
Awesome. I'll be rolling with Jose Soriano under 4.5 strikeouts at plus 100 as my only spot for today on the show. So, you got any long shots that you're looking at today? Obviously, it's a big slate everywhere, so you got one.
Yeah, I mean, the only one I have locked in is Rooker right now, home run, but I don't want to double up because I wrote that in the newsletter, so I don't want to take the double L for that one on the newsletter and the show if it loses. But I like Rooker, homer, and then basketball, it's cheating, but I took Collier double-double again. He keeps missing it for me, but he keeps getting so close, so I keep getting suckered back in. I saw Geoff in the chat talked about that earlier with his double-double. But yeah, I don't have anything super great right now. Do you have anything good?
I have a couple in like the plus 200 range. I do really like Victor Robles to get me a swipe today. It's like plus 225. So I think maybe that'll be my only one that I put on here. Yeah, I feel like plus 225 is a pretty good price. I love fading Verlander for stolen bases. My issue is just Robles has to get on base to do it. Yeah. But I think if he does, he's going to be having green light specials because that offense can't do shit, and you're going to have to make something happen. So I think that would be my only long shot for the show. It just sucks I have to wait a while till we get like the highest scoring team and all that stuff. Usually that's later in the day. But other than that, I feel pretty good about the spots today.
Yeah, and I was going to say, too, I did pull it up. They do it at 275 on Rivers, which I know isn't super available to everyone, but I know you have Rivers as well.
I do have Rivers, so let me even on
upgrade.
Yeah, dude. I can't. This is why. This right here is why I cannot play DFS today. Andujar batting 6, probably going to be 50% owned for this fucking Athletics team. Soderstrom's going to be 50% owned. Fucking against the Rockies and Ryan Feltner. Like, god damn, dude. Like, they're really going to do this to me. It's like in that middle part of the day, don't even put them on a slate, dude. Like, don't even put that game on a slate. It's just going to be I fucking hate the Rockies so much. They ruin everything.
Yeah, well, and I saw I don't know. That was an interesting one. I saw people really jumped on the Beto train as well. I like K's at 4.5, but it got hit up to 5.5 pretty quickly, which I thought was interesting. Maybe a little aggressive for me. What I wanted was under hits allowed because I thought he might walk a couple people, but they never posted that one, unfortunately.
I will say I probably would not be playing Beto at all. just because his best wipeout pitch is that slider, and I don't like taking guys who have to rely on spin and Coors. So
agreed.
Might be a under bet for me, actually, if I can
That's
get
what
one.
I was going to say. Well, 5.5 is like a solid under in my opinion. And I like to strikeouts going into the day. It's a little juice, like minus 135 on. Oh, actually, that's a good price. Minus 135 on DraftKings. I just wish they'd give me a freaking under hits allowed. That's what I really want to bet for him, but I don't think they're.
It's just can I reasonably bet on the Rockies to do something positive? That's really what you're doing. Like, can you bet on this absolute shit show of a franchise to do something good? And I don't know, but I do think that I kind of like have to at this point with this number getting up to 5.5. Have absolutely no idea on his leash. Plus, it's Coors, so it's like those sliders are going to be a little more hung today. So probably play that actually personally, for sure, just because I did not expect to see 6 for Beto today. That was not on my bingo card, bro.
Yeah, people slammed the 4.5 last night, which I didn't even mind the 4.5. I thought that was more reasonable. But then, man, once I saw 5.5, like minus 130, I was like, okay, it got a little out of hand for that one right there. Because, like you said, we talked about it, but you don't want to depend on those like huge breaking balls out in Coors. That's kind of the people that get most affected. So definitely agree there. Solid slate though. I mean, I think we got a lot of good stuff out here today.
Awesome. We will see you guys on Monday, back here ready to roll. Yeah, we got one long shot, I guess, with a plus 220. Usually I like playing a little bit bigger numbers, but always like fading Mr. Verlander when he puts guys on base. So as for us, we will see you Monday. Hopefully I'll see the Monday slate a little early and maybe we can actually have a normal time. Usually Mondays don't have too many early games, so that might work for us. So have a good one, guys, and best of luck on all your bets this weekend.